Japan's oldest doctor. Goodbye. Swelling 8. Collagen-rich foods. You must eat for your legs and joints. If your legs feel stiff in the morning, if your knees swell after a walk, or if standing too long leaves you aching, you're not alone. Many of us in our golden years begin to feel the slow tug of joint discomfort. It's not sudden. It creeps in quietly, a little less ease in the hips, a little more groaning when bending down, and mornings that begin with stretches we didn't plan. But what if the answer isn't in another pill bottle? What if the real healing power was sitting right in your kitchen? Today, we'll talk about 8 natural foods, all rich in collagen and other healing nutrients that help reduce joint swelling, support, flexibility, and even rebuild the soft tissue between our bones. And the best part, you don't have to go far to find them. Many are already part of meals you know and love. Let's begin. Section 1. Egg yolks. Let's talk about something that's been quietly misunderstood for years: the humble egg yolk. Now, most of us grew up being told to avoid too many yolks. Too much cholesterol, they said. And so many people, including some of our own uncles and aunties, started separating their eggs. Whites only for breakfast, yolks pushed aside. But here's the thing, we may have been throwing away the most healing part. Egg yolks are one of nature's richest sources of biotin and sulfur, 2 nutrients that play a direct role in helping your body produce collagen naturally. Collagen, as you may already know, is like the cushion between your bones. It's what keeps your joints smooth and mobile. When collagen breaks down with age, we start to feel more stiffness, more grinding, and more of those creaky feelings. Biotin, sometimes called vitamin B7, helps your body build and maintain skin hair and connective tissue. Sulfur, on the other hand, acts almost like a primer. It sets the stage so that collagen can form properly strong and stable. Together, they're like the perfect construction crew working behind the scenes, in your knees, hips, and even your fingers. Now, there's one important thing to know. The way we cook our eggs makes a big difference. Scrambled eggs over high heat. Unfortunately, that destroys much of the biotin and can damage the yolk's collagen-building nutrients. Instead, try enjoying your eggs soft-boiled or poached. These gentle methods help preserve more of that precious biotin and sulfur. A soft-boiled egg over toast in the morning, or a warm, poached egg on a bed of sautéed spinach can go a long way toward nourishing your joints quietly, gently, day by day. And here's something we forget. Food is not just about nutrients, it's about comfort too. A warm egg cooked just right can be a healing moment for body and for spirit. And if eggs aren't your thing, or maybe you've eaten your share already this week, try this next section too. Pumpkin seeds. Let's talk about something small but mighty, pumpkin seeds. Now, they may not look like much. Just little green slivers in a bag often overlooked on the grocery shelf or tossed aside after carving pumpkins. But for our joints, especially if we're dealing with daily swelling or stiffness, these tiny seeds can quietly do wonders. Many of us focus on the big nutrients like calcium or collagen, but our joints rely on something more subtle too. Trace minerals. These are the little helpers elements like magnesium and manganese that play a silent but essential role in keeping our cartilage strong and inflammation low. Magnesium helps relax tight muscles around the joints. It also supports nerve signals so your body communicates clearly, no false alarms of pain or tension, and manganese. It's like a tiny spark that activates enzymes your body uses to make new collagen. The beautiful thing is pumpkin seeds are rich in both of these minerals. Just a small handful, maybe 2 tablespoons, can supply a noticeable amount of what your joints need to feel less swollen, less stiff, and more supported. But here's a gentle tip that makes a big difference. Try soaking your pumpkin seeds overnight before eating them. This softens them, removes compounds that block absorption, and makes the minerals more available to your body, especially for those of us with more sensitive digestion. You can sprinkle them onto your oatmeal in the morning, toss them into a smoothie for a quiet crunch, or enjoy them as a light afternoon snack. They travel well, don't spoil quickly, and don't require any cooking at all. Sometimes the best things for our health are the simplest. Just a few seeds chewed, slowly savored with intention, and your joints get a daily dose of something powerful. But if seeds don't quite satisfy your appetite, there's another source of joint-healing collagen, one that lives in a can and might surprise you. Section 3. Canned Salmon with Bones. Let's talk about a classic pantry item with a secret strength, canned salmon with bones. Now, I know some folks get a little uneasy at the idea, bones in a can. It might sound odd at first, but once you understand what's really inside, you might see it in a whole new light. You see, most of the time when people eat salmon, they eat it filleted, clean, boneless, tidy. But when we choose canned wild salmon with the soft edible bones still inside, we unlock a treasure trove of healing nutrients for our joints. The bones in canned salmon are pressure cooked until they're soft and fully edible. You can mash them easily with a fork. They blend right in with the meat. And here's what they offer: a rich combination of calcium collagen and a special protein called osteocalcin, which helps bind calcium into our bones and cartilage. That's right, by eating these tiny bones, we're giving our own bones what they need to stay strong and resilient. And because it's food-based, the nutrients are much easier to absorb than what you'd find in a synthetic supplement. There's also omega-3 fatty acids in salmon, which are natural inflammation fighters. So, not only are you helping your joints rebuild structure, you're also calming down the fire that causes swelling and pain. Now, let me share a little story about George. George is 68 lives in Colorado, and he's been hiking the same hill behind his house for 30 years, but lately the descent was getting harder. His knees weren't bouncing back like they used to. He'd ice them after each walk, hoping for relief. His daughter, a nutritionist, suggested something different. Nothing fancy, just canned salmon mashed onto whole-grain toast 3 times a week. After 6 weeks, George called her chuckling. "I still feel my age," he said, "but my knees aren't arguing with me anymore." That's the power of food when it's used, right? Simple, consistent healing. You can mix canned salmon into a warm grain bowl with brown rice and greens, add a spoonful of Dijon, or even turn it into salmon cakes for dinner. It's comfort food that comforts your joints too. And if salmon's not your favorite, or if you're still a little unsure about those tiny bones, just wait until you hear about the next food. It's one that many of us avoid, but we really shouldn't. Section 4. Chicken Skin. Let's talk about something that's often thrown away without a second thought. Chicken skin. Now, for decades we've been told to trim the fat, remove the skin, go for boneless and skinless everything. Maybe it came from those old heart health campaigns, or from seeing it as too greasy. And yes, balance is important. But the truth is, when it comes to supporting our joints, chicken skin offers something incredibly valuable, something we can't afford to miss as we get older. That something is collagen, specifically type 2 collagen, the very type that makes up the cartilage in our knees, hips, and shoulders. Chicken skin isn't just fat. It contains the exact structural protein that our body uses to cushion joints. It's like giving our cartilage the raw materials it needs to patch itself up. And when it's prepared gently, chicken skin becomes more than just edible, it becomes medicine wrapped in a crispy golden package. Now, here's the key. It's all in how you cook it. We're not talking about deep-fried, heavily battered fast food chicken. That kind of high-heat cooking creates compounds that can actually inflame the body. What we want is a slow, gentle roast, maybe seasoned with rosemary and lemon, so the skin crisps up naturally and keeps its collagen content intact. When paired with the meat, chicken skin becomes part of a healing meal. Even adding some skin to your homemade chicken soup or stew allows it to melt into the broth, bringing with it that soothing, gelatin-rich essence. And here's a little kitchen trick: save the leftover roasted skin. Crisp it in a pan the next day and crumble it over a salad or soup. It adds flavor, crunch, and joint-nourishing collagen in every bite. For years, many of us avoided chicken skin out of habit or fear. But times have changed, and so has our understanding of what's truly good for our aging bodies. And if you're still a little unsure about eating skin, don't worry. There's another option that's pure flavorless and incredibly easy to use, something that blends right into your tea. Section 5. Gelatin. Let's talk about an old favorite with a surprising new role. Gelatin. You may remember gelatin from wobbly desserts at family gatherings or colorful cubes served at potlucks. But underneath its playful texture lies something quite powerful absorbable collagen that works fast sometimes in as little as 2 weeks. Gelatin is what we get when collagen is gently broken down into a more digestible form. It's still rich in amino acids, like glycine and proline, but in a way that our aging digestive systems can easily handle. For those of us who sometimes struggle with supplements or whose stomachs get sensitive, gelatin is a gentle, natural solution. Studies have shown that regular intake of gelatin can improve joint flexibility, reduce pain during movement, and even promote the rebuilding of cartilage. It's especially helpful for weight-bearing joints, knees, hips, ankles, the ones that tend to take the most strain as we walk, stand, or climb stairs. But the best part, it's incredibly easy to use. You can stir a scoop of plain, unflavored gelatin into warm tea coffee or bone broth. It dissolves quickly and adds no taste, just invisible support. Or, if you enjoy a little creativity in the kitchen, try making natural gummies using fruit juice and gelatin. Keep them in the fridge for a quick, fun way to nourish your joints throughout the week. There's something comforting about gelatin, not just its softness but the way it seems to cushion our insides too. And as we age, our bodies often appreciate that softness, the kind that brings relief without resistance. I remember Linda, a former school teacher who wrote to us a few months ago. She had arthritis in her thumbs from years of grading papers, and opening jars had become a frustrating task. Her granddaughter suggested adding gelatin to her morning routine. After 3 weeks of stirring it into her chamomile tea, Linda wrote, "I'm not doing cartwheels, but I opened the peanut butter yesterday without help, and that felt like winning. That's the power of consistent, quiet nourishment. And if tea and gelatin sound like your style, wonderful. But if you're looking for something heartier, something from the sea that packs a surprising punch, the next food might be just what you're looking for." Section 6. Sardines with bones and skin. Let's talk about sardines. Now, before you wrinkle your nose, yes, we know sardines don't always get the warmest welcome. Some folks avoid them because of the strong smell or the little bones or the texture. But if you give them a second look, especially the kind with bones and skin, you might discover one of the most complete joint-supporting foods available. Sardines are a rare combination of collagen, calcium, and omega-3 fatty acids, all in one tiny, affordable package. The skin of the sardine is rich in natural marine collagen, which is highly bioavailable. That means your body can absorb and use it quickly, sometimes even more easily than land-based sources. The tiny bones, soft and fully edible, are filled with calcium and phosphorus, both essential for keeping your joints strong and supported. And then there's the omega-3's healthy fats that reduce inflammation and help cushion the joints. This trifecta, collagen, calcium, and anti-inflammatory fats, makes sardines a quiet powerhouse for anyone dealing with creaky knees or stiff fingers. Now, the trick is learning how to enjoy them in ways that feel comforting, not overwhelming. You don't have to eat them straight from the can if that doesn't appeal to you. Try mashing sardines into a spread with a little olive oil, lemon juice, and fresh herbs. Spread that onto toast or whole grain crackers. It's like a savory snack with a purpose. Or warm them gently and mix them into rice bowls alongside roasted vegetables. You can even stir a few forkfuls into Greek yogurt with garlic and dill for a creamy dip that's rich in protein and joint-healing nutrients. And if the scent bothers you, a squeeze of lemon or a sprig of fresh parsley can brighten and soften the flavor. Sardines aren't just an old-fashioned food from our grandparents' pantry. They're a timeless treasure, And for those of us looking to feel less pain, move with more ease, and eat with intention, they may be one of the best kept secrets. But if the idea of fish still doesn't sit right with you, don't worry. The next food is pure warming and feels like a hug in a mug. Section 7. Bone Broth. Let's talk about one of the most ancient and most comforting healing foods of all, bone broth. Now, you might remember your mother or grandmother simmering a pot of broth on the stove, filling the house with that rich, savory aroma. Back then, it wasn't called a superfood. It was just how people used the whole chicken or beef bones to stretch a meal and warm the soul. But science is finally catching up to what tradition has known all along. Slow-simmered bone broth is deeply healing, especially for our joints. When you gently simmer bones for 12 to 24 hours, you unlock something magical: gelatin, minerals, amino acids, and natural collagen. This combination supports every layer of joint health, from cartilage to ligaments to the synovial fluid that keeps everything gliding smoothly. Unlike isolated collagen supplements, bone broth offers the complete package: not just collagen, but also magnesium, calcium, glucosamine, and chondroitin. It's like giving your joints a full-service repair kit, and it's incredibly hydrating too. Many older adults are mildly dehydrated without realizing it, and that dryness can make joints feel even stiffer. A warm cup of broth soothes the digestive system, supports circulation, and gives our body what it needs to rebuild, not just survive. I remember Nora, 74 years old, widowed and a bit skeptical of trends. She used to rely on ibuprofen most mornings just to make it down the porch steps. Her granddaughter gave her a mason jar of homemade beef bone broth one winter, along with a note that simply said, "Sip this before bed." Nora started sipping half a cup each night. After a few weeks, she called it her evening blanket. She still had arthritis, of course, but she no longer needed pain meds to tie her walking shoes. It didn't cure her pain, but it made it livable. And more importantly, it gave her something to look forward to, a ritual that tasted like warmth. You can make broth at home with leftover bones, chicken, beef, even fish, along with a splash of vinegar, some chopped vegetables, and herbs like thyme or bay leaf. Let it simmer low and slow strain and keep in the fridge. Sip it on its own or use it as the base for soups, grains, or stews. Every spoonful is like a whisper to your joints: "I'm taking care of you," and if sipping broth feels too light for your taste, our next food brings a heartier bite, something a little chewy, a little unfamiliar, and one of the richest collagen sources on Earth. Section 8. Beef tendons. Let's talk about something that might sound unusual. At first, beef tendons. Now, if you've never tried them before, you're not alone. In many American kitchens, tendons are often overlooked or misunderstood. They seem tough, chewy, or just too unfamiliar. But in other parts of the world, from Vietnam to Mexico to parts of the American South, beef tendons are seen for what they truly are: a collagen goldmine. Tendons are the thick connective tissues that anchor muscles to bones. And when we slow cook them properly, they turn from rubbery to richly tender, almost like gelatin, and offer one of the densest sources of natural collagen you can eat. This type of collagen is especially helpful for joint strength and flexibility, particularly in the knees and hips. That's because tendons contain type I and type 3 collagen, which help repair the supportive tissues around our joints. If you've ever felt like your knees give out going down the stairs, or your hips feel unsteady after standing, tendon-rich foods could be exactly what your body's been waiting for. Now, I won't pretend this is a 5-minute recipe, but like many good things, the magic happens over time. To prepare beef tendons at home, you'll want to slow cook them either in a crock pot or a covered pot on the stove for 6 to 8 hours, or even longer. Add broth, garlic, ginger, or soy sauce for flavor. As they cook, the tendons soften beautifully and become silky, a texture that's deeply satisfying, especially when paired with rice noodles or vegetables. And here's a tip. Once cooked, you can dice them into small pieces and mix them into stews, soups, or even burritos. They carry the flavor of the broth around them, and most people won't even know they're eating something so rich in healing collagen. I met a retired contractor named Jim who started adding beef tendon stew to his weekly meals. I didn't expect much, he said, but after a month my hips didn't bark at me every time I climbed out of the truck. Tendons might not win beauty contests, but they might just help you win back comfort in your joints. They're food that speaks quietly but heals deeply. And now that we've explored all 8 of these powerful foods, from gentle eggs to hearty tendons, let's bring it all together. You don't have to live with stiff knees, aching hips, or swollen ankles. These aren't just foods, they're tools your body can use to heal itself. You've seen that the answer doesn't have to come from pills or prescriptions. Sometimes the most powerful medicine is in your kitchen, simmering on the stove, soaking overnight, or resting on your morning toast. Every bite of collagen-rich food you eat is like a small investment in how you move, how you sleep, how you feel. Real, affordable, everyday meals that can help you walk stronger, stand longer, and smile a little easier. So, which one will you try this week? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more friendly, practical health tips made just for you. Because growing older should mean feeling better, not worse. And together we can get there one meal at a time.